All right, hello. This reading is for Gemini. Today is 11/11. It's the 11/11 portal. Ooh. And it's the special 11/11 portal because if you add up 11, 11, and 23, guess what it equals to? That's right, 11. Never mind. I think most people well, I don't know, because I'm 1000% sure I've been alive and am currently living other lives right now simultaneously. But I don't have that concept in my human brain at this time space of remembering those lives or knowing those specific experiences right now. But from this current perspective, the one that I'm speaking from right now, these are the times. These are not, we think these aren't the times we wish for because it seems horrible, but these are really the times that we wish for on a spiritual level. These are the times that we yearn for. This is a time of great awakening because of all of the atrocities that are happening. It's really hard to get sidetracked and stuck in the humdrum of life when you're just constantly hit with a barrage of tragedy and fear and horrible, awful things. Now, that's not to say that that's what your actual life is like, but that's what the outside world is constantly showing us. Anyway, I don't really know why I just went off on that rant, but there it is. So let's start this reading off. This for Gemini's here, the Gemini Collective in November, 11/11 portal. First card out is the Fool, so I think that's appropriate, right? And then to further explain that, we have the Hanged Man and the Two of Air in reverse, which is like the Two of Swords. Oh, I'm using the Good Tarot. And for further clarification, I will be using Osho Zen Tarot. So anyway, so the Fool card here, these cards are very pretty, but they don't have the normal iconography of most tarot decks. And their meanings are also not the same. So just bear with me here. So with the Fool card, because the Fool is always in the now, and being in the now, I've touched on this on a couple different readings, and I'll just keep repeating it because it keeps coming up. You are the most in touch with the truest version of yourself, the highest version of yourself. Because when you're in the now, which is all that there really is, you're in the realest version of the reality that you're currently in possible. Like the truest version. So the illusions tend to fall away. And that's what this Fool card is representing here. This Fool card is representing the space that you're in is really just trusting spirit to lead you to where you need to go. And by spirit, however you want to take that. If you're religious, whomever you consider God to be. If you're not religious, whatever. Angels, guides, passed on loved ones, your higher self, the universe, other versions of you, Thoth. there's so many names for it, right? Source is what I like to call it, because it's where everything comes from, including every thought that you've ever had or ever will have. To further explain that is the Hangman in reverse and the Two of Air in the reverse. So not only, dear Geminis, are you really just giving in to the true air nature of your sign and going with the flow and trusting spirit to lead you through whatever it is you're going through, whether it be challenging or just another day, is the time is now. With the Hangman in reverse, you're not taking time out. You are just headstrong, going forward, and just really diving into it. You're not hesitating at all. And it's because the sight that you're relying on is the sight that spirit is providing for you. And to further drive that home is the Two of Air in reverse, because there's no unwavering in your understanding of how your life is unfolding and how you've gotten to the point where you're at right now, and how you've gotten to where you're at right now, where you're just really just trusting the universe to unfold as it should, and realize no matter where you are, you're exactly where you need to be. There's just really no doubt in that for you. And the next cards here, we have the Messenger of Fire and the Four of Earth. These cards are so beautiful. It's truly not one of my favorite decks because it's a little challenging to read just from the imagery, which is how I read tarot. I read it intuitively. Anyway, this is kind of like the Page of Wands here. But with this Messenger of Fire, you're really understanding the creative power that you have right now. And that's part of this spirit energy, this guidance that you're getting. It's like your intuition and your creativity, and it's leading you to your greatest joy. To further explain it here is the Four of Earth in reverse. So even though you're like fully in this, like a part of you is fully in like spirit mode and just like taking everything with a grain of salt and not trying to be judgmental about anything and just letting things happen and then seeing how it unfolds, and then if you feel some kind of way, really just sitting back and like reflecting on it, like really just going within. Even though you're doing all of that, you find it hard to ground it into like the 3D world. There's like a level of unsureness. It's like you are 1000% secure in like the spirit realm or spiritual ideas and manifesting and all that stuff. But the problem that you have is like bringing it on down into the 3D, which as humans, we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and you understand that very much, especially with the dual nature of Gemini. So right now, what you're grappling with is bringing it like just being more grounded and finding a way to have that creative spiritual energy work for you in your favor in the 3D. So example, trying to figure out how to profit off of it, trying to figure out how to bring those ideas into something that you can not only provide as a product for other people, and it will be helpful and beneficial to them on a spiritual level and a 3D level, but then it's going to be helpful and beneficial to you on a spiritual and 3D level. Like you have a hard time like making that connection. But with the Six of Earth here and the upright and the Moon card in the reverse, this is saying that you figure it out. And honestly, you figure it out because you go back to your intuition. You can see what's happening behind the scenes. You can see what other people don't. You, again, hold the unique perspective of the twins where you're able to see both sides of the coin. You're able to change with ease. You flow and you don't allow yourself to be held back. And the nature of this energy, this spiritual energy that you're feeling really vibes with you because it's something that you're used to. You're used to being able to change on the fly and adapt, and it's seamless for you. And that's because with the moon card here in reverse is saying that even though to other people, like, they're not sure, you know. You don't need to, like, check with anyone or look up anything or figure it out. Like, you get told in your head the truth and you're like, oh, okay. And you go with that. Your inner compass is really strong. All right, so I'm going to just clarify here. Can you tell me more about the first set of cards? This card wants to come out. Totality in the reverse. I might have to actually read the book for these. This is another deck that's different, which is the reason why I'm using them together. I thought they were a good fit. Let me see. Give me a card for the next two cards here. Messenger of Fire and the Four of Earth in reverse. The Outsider. I see why you're having a hard time with foundations, because you're doing it all yourself. Okay. Let me see. Others can't see the vision that you see. Innocence in the reverse. This is a major arcana card in this deck. 19. Yeah. So this is like circus performers here. Trapeze artists, I believe that's what they're called. It's in the reverse here though. So I'm hearing like you're not into performing for people. So I think that's why you're really, really connecting with your true higher self and really just going with it. Because for you to be what other people find normal is like a performance, and that's not your bag. I just heard you would rather die. Which is kind of harsh, but that's what I just heard. Eat shit and die. That's what I heard. Like, that's your response to it. Like, conformity. Like, that's not a good look. And don't like depending on others. Especially not with your life. Or the message that you're trying to put out, if you're trying to put out a message. You don't mind being in the spotlight, but it's different than, like, you prefer to be the person in the crowd at the party that everyone just loves to talk to and kind of gathers around. But this is like a different spotlight where, like, you're on a stage and you're the only one there and the spotlight's on you and everybody's watching you. Like, you're not into that. And you're really just embracing what feels right to you and what doesn't. Again, being in touch with the truest version of yourself. And here with this disconnect that you're having with the grounding thing is, I think it's because you need to, I heard you need to find try to find your tribe. It's easier said than done, but the only way you're even going to be able to start that is by getting out of your comfort zone, breaking down walls, breaking down barriers, realizing that you're capable. Like this little guy, I mean, he looks like he's stuck, right? But we all know you're not small like that. You are so big, especially when you understand the spiritual aspects of how big you are. You are so big. And I mean that in like a true space. Like we're like these, our physical bodies are like these little tiny, like compressed things compared to what our spirit is. And that's part of like that aura thing that people talk about. You're huge. And you're trying to find a way to put your huge spirit and compact it into this tiny, small human body and then make it work. You might need help with that. That's what I'm getting. You might need outside help with that. And also, I think your tribe is the outsiders, the outliers, the people that society would consider weirdos, probably. Because they're the people that are going to be the most open-minded and the most accepting of your controversial or really out there ideas. They won't have, I mean, there might be some judgment and some bias, but it's not going to be like other people that are really just stuck in their fear and stuck in their ego. And it's not their fault. That's just how we've been raised since we were babies, to believe and think certain things and ideas about reality and life and how things are. We were literally taught the opposite of how things are, how they really are. And that's on purpose to keep us in check. Because if everyone truly realized the power that they have, the quote unquote oligarchs that are in control would be in control of nothing. Absolutely nothing. And they would diminish because they feed off of us. They feed off of our fear and our belief systems that incorporate those ideals. And then we pass them along to generations after generations. And we send our kids to these schools where they're basically indoctrinated. And I'm about to go off on a rant, so I'm going to shut up. And then these next cards here, we got Innocence in the reverse. So I feel like the reason why, like, you don't need luck to do what you're doing. I feel like this is really talking about psychic abilities here. Paying attention to your inner thoughts, paying attention to thoughts that don't sound like your thoughts, but somehow you're thinking them. You know, if you have an inner monologue in your thinking, like, who is that? If you think of okay, I'm not going to go there, but I'll just start talking and I won't shut up. So I'm just going to let that one go. You're starting to connect with other aspects of yourself, and you're starting to relearn things that you have forgotten. Even though you're a young person, I believe this is a young person, you're a very old soul, and you've done this so many times, and you've got so much help on the other side. You're connected to that. I don't think you realize it. I think you're starting to, though. You're connected to it, and if you don't overthink it and you just listen, the answers are there. Like, they literally pop in your head and you're like, that was a weird thought. Or like, why did I just see that image in my head? That was weird. And then you really start to think about it and you're like, wait a minute, was that my thought? I mean, it was in my head, right? The Great Awakening, waking up. But I think you've actually been on this journey for a while. I think you're reaching a new level and it's exciting, and that's further pushing through your creativity. I'm just going to pull some final messages for advice and or final messages here. We got the Rebel in reverse, which is basically like the Emperor. Okay, that card wanted to pop out. What is that? Understanding. Look at this. This is like... Does that not look like the bird looking at the spirit world there? Give me one more card. Let's do it in threes. Let's do it in threes and keep it equal, man. 3, 3, 3. That was the last the last time I saw the triple numbers today was 333. I've been trying to literally do a screenshot on my phone every time I happen to look at my phone and see that it's repeating numbers, and a couple times I wasn't able to catch it, but it literally just is nonstop. Mind in the reverse. I'm hearing spirit. Okay, so you're not trying to like fight anything or break anything or change anything or like rally the people. Like, you're really just going with the flow. You're really just going with the flow and seeing where it takes you. And where it's taking you is the places that you are like, did that shit just fucking happen? And this is not a mind thing. This is a spirit thing. This is an intuition thing. This is a gut thing. This is a Kundalini rising thing. This is alignment. This is ascension. This is literally you getting out of your head and getting into your heart and really, truly trusting your abilities and the universe, God, spirit. Like, you realize you're one and the same, and you're both on the same team. And this is a game you're playing. This is a game you're playing, and it's up to you how it unfolds. Like, you are making up the rules. You are the game itself. You are the board. You are the players. You are the game pieces. You are the cards. Like, you're starting to get this, and it blew your mind to the point where you don't rely on the thinking part of you to guide you. The thinking part of you is secondary, and that's part of having the problem with grounding it into the 3D. Like, that part is hard for you because it's still separate to you. And I think with this card, understanding, I think it's going to come to you in time. It's going to come like out of nowhere. It's like going to be something that happens that after it happens, first off, you're just going to be like, whoa, did that just happen? Like, that was crazy. And you're just going to kind of be mind blown about the experience. But then like afterwards, you're going to reflect on it and you're going to start thinking about it in your mind. And when you do, you're going to feel those chills that just come over you and just like travel from the back of your head down, all the way down your back and all over your body. And you're going to realize some things that didn't occur to you while it was happening. And that's going to be happening more and more, because once it happens and you make the connection, you're going to be able to ground it into the 3D, and you're going to want it more and more and more and more. It's going to be like your new favorite dessert, your new obsession. Okay, that's what I got for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed the reading. I hope you got something out of it. Please like the video if you liked it. Please share the video if you'd like to share it. And please subscribe if you don't want to miss anything that I post. Thank you so much for viewing my content, and I really truly hope you have a wonderful 11/11 portal day. Okay, bye.